Hello, this is Ebonygeek. You're always welcome to join me in expanding your knowledge base. Comments are always welcome, and please subscribe. Here's what we have so far. Nice little bot looking thing. It seems stable. It should be with all that screwing in. At this point, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be adding our motor drive. Okay, so our motor drive is here. So what we want to do is we want to, and actually that is working. So we want to unscrew these just a little bit, because the way that works is that's how we get the cord in there. That's how these work. You unscrew it here, then you put the cord in here. Alright, so what we're going to do, so we're going to feed the motor wires through the bottom here. So these are the motor wires. Okay, we're just gonna feed them through here. Okay. And you could just go through the bottom and just grab it and pull it on through. That'll be a way to tidy it up once we got all the wiring the way it's supposed to be. Alright, and just grab it from here. You don't want to be rough on this stuff. You don't want it to break. Now that we have it fed through, we want to see which is which. The wires should stay separate though. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to twist these. See, that way we know that's one set of wires. Take a bit of masking tape. That way it'll stay twisted together. That's just something I learned to do so that I know which wires are supposed to stay together. Because you're going to wind up having a lot of situations where your wire is the same color. And especially when there's two of the same components. You don't want to get them mixed up. Because if you get them mixed up, that's a whole wiring problem. And you could be doing your coding. You could think that it's a problem with your coding, but it's not. It's that you mixed up the wires. So that's a little handy dandy way to go about it. And if this masking tape will stick right. Okay, and we could do the same for the battery here. We want the white wires to be to terminal A and to terminal C. Okay, so I'm just going to make this the first one, and as you can see, you just stick your wire in there. Then you screw it down. that allows it to grab onto the wire nice and neat and pretty. None of that other stuff that you have to do. Terminal A, black wire to terminal B. Okay, so they're right next to each other. Motor 1 is AB, motor 2 is CD. It starts with the white. So, adding the next wire in, and then we just screw it down. That's pretty simple. And then let's go ahead and add our motor 2. Oops. Hold it down in there. And as you be screwing it, you can actually see the little gate going up and down. Okay. Motor B. This is D. Okay, there go D. So we're good. We have that in there. Well, hopefully we got the last bit of video. If not, I'll just explain what was done. It was pretty much just adding these wires to the sensors. You want to be careful with these sensors, and you don't want to be pulling, or you just want to push just as much to get this on. You don't want to break the headers. You'll feel it snap a little bit when you get it in place. If it didn't show, you're going to have two separate wires, okay? The positive side of the wire is supposed to face up. The negative side of the wire will face down, okay? Then you're going to feed it through the bottom like we fed all the other wires. And then you're going to go ahead and plug it in according to, I put them in one at a time. Okay, so this one was 1 right here. That cord was 1. And it went up and through into this first 2 sets of headers right here. Now make sure you're getting the right side. You don't want this side, you want this side. And this little offset from the silver part, and then it's right here. Okay, so 1 right here, closest to the screw, it went up and through and into this first one. 2 went up and through and into the second one. Then we went to 3 will be here on this side, closest to the screw. The odd size is here and here. So you have 1 and 3. Then you have 2 and 4. Okay? And as you feed them through, you're just going to add them 1, 2, 3, 4 here. Okay? So, and it explains it here. Okay, so it explains it there. Okay, hopefully you saw that. Now, we on to the next page. And what I was explaining before the camera went off, and I'm going to review to see how much was missed by the camera pointing up. That's a problem that I'm going to have to solve at one point. Now, here is a set of jumpers, right here. What it says is the instructions for download the support files for your Arduino program and libraries. You need to go to a certain site. I went to that site. It did not have it, so I searched it, I googled it. I actually found the files, I believe the correct files, on GitHub, because it's not on the site that it says it's on here, so I'm not going to even give it to you. Check out the name MakeIt Robotics Starter Kit, and it's on GitHub. I'm going to test it, and if I have it correct, then I'll have it, and if anybody asks for it, I'll send it to them, or set it up to be downloaded off my site. If you have not created a directory in your Arduino folder for the MakeIt Robotics program, open README text. Follow the directions, okay? I don't have a README text, but I'll tell you what to do. Now, number 4 is connect your Arduino Uno R3 to your computer with a USB. Now, you should have a USB to connect your Arduino. That's basic, you know. Okay. Remove the jumper from J16 on the PCB to allow your Arduino's port to communicate with your computer. This is the jumpers right here. You will remove it, put it somewhere where you're going to be able to find it again. Don't just sit it anywhere, because they get lost very easy. Then open line follow.ino in the Arduino program environment. Okay, that's going to be either with the Eclipse Arduino IDE or whether you're doing it with basic IDE. Since the code is already written, then you could just go ahead and plug it into the Arduino IDE, because that's fine. It's only when you're trying to, create programs that I have a problem with the Arduino IDE. 7. Verify and upload the program to your Arduino Uno R3. Then remove the USB cable from your Arduino Uno R3. 9. Put the jumpers back onto J16, which is why you want to put it somewhere you can find it. When the PCB is connected to your Arduino and the jumpers on J16 are in place, your Arduino serial port will be unavailable. So when you're doing any kind of testing on this thing or anything, you want to make sure that the J16 is off, the jumpers. Then when you're done and you just want it to work autonomously, then you want to make sure that the J16 is on the jumpers. Of course, when you do get ready to use it, put the batteries in. After that, it's showing a picture of it actually doing the line follow thing. Okay, so we're done with putting it together. It's done. Now we can test it. Okay, and what I would do is I would find something I can sit it on so I could test it up here first. Get an idea of what's going on with it, and then, okay, actually, I'm going to use my battery charger, and I'm just going to sit it up here, and that way I could test it, and the wheels won't be hitting anything, so it won't be moving. And also make sure to tie your wires back somehow. You don't want to tie them, right now I think they're okay. Maybe just stuff them in there, because they seem to be okay like that. Okay. Alrighty. So, it's all built. It took long enough, huh? But we just gonna see what goes with it. you might have to have a little black line or something. But I'm just going to start testing, seeing what happens with it. And then that's going to be that. Have a great rest of your day. And when I got some working tests, I will go over it with you. Oh, and by the way, for these jumpers, just so it's on the record, because I know I may forget, these are side by side. So when you take one off, okay, so these are side by side. So when you take one off, it's going up and down, you see? Okay, so if ever there's a question, all I have to do is look at this video again. Okay, just wanted to make that notation. I'm Ebonygeek, and I hope that the information provided has been helpful to you. Please remember to subscribe. Happy building and happy coding.